Welcome back to beautiful Palm Springs Stadium for Saturday morning action between the Green Dragons and the Snowbirds. The Dragons come in to this game at 3-1-3, and the Snowbirds at 3-3-2. Nash Walker, Evan Schmeiser with you today, and Evan, it's a hot one, but I always know there's this consistency out here. Every morning we get PSCL baseball. It's an honor to be back with you, friend.
Absolutely, can't say enough about it, Nash. You know, we have one exception, though. We did have a rain out a couple days ago. Did not know it actually rained out here in the desert, but I guess that is the case. But regardless, another beautiful day. We get to look at the canyons. Best view in the house from up here in the press box.
Pitch is up and away from Ethan Mann, who's starting this one for the Snowbirds. That's Bowie at the plate. Mann, 8 innings, 7 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, a couple of walks for a 7.87 ERA this year. The 1-1. Ball inside.
Ethan Mann also commit to the University of Dallas, so well-traveled young man to say the least, coming halfway across the country.
That's chopped out to second from Howard. Coming in and making the play is Stillwell. So 1 up, 1 down, and Tommy Howard's retired.
That's a real nice play right there from Caden Stillwell, the second baseman. He charged it nicely, very smooth play as well. Sometimes when you're charging in, it can turn into a little bit like, you know, the song goes. That wasn't the case. Very smooth and made the play look pretty easy.
So here's Connor Hilbert, who's off to a great start. 5 for 14, couple of singles, 3 doubles. He takes ball 1. This Dragons team hitting 273, 399 on base. OPS just over 750. That's hit up the middle for a knock. So Hilbert's on board again. 6 for 15 on the season, and it's a 1-out single.
Hilbert got a pitch he liked, fastball towards the outer edge of the plate. Didn't try to do too much with it. Maybe a little off the end of the bat, but hit that ball hard right through the middle.
Here's Montoya with 1 on and 1 out. Gabriel Montoya also off to a nice start. 5 for 12, 4 singles, a double. 3 strikeouts, and he's 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Hilbert over at first, 4 for 4. So see if he takes off. Hit out to short, double play chance. Throw on to second to Stillwell, and he dropped it, but they're going to call it an out. So it's a drop on the transfer, fielder's choice. Hilbert's out at second. Montoya reaches first, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, you can never assume a double play. Hard to tell if they would have turned to regardless. Ball's hit fairly sharply, though, out to shortstop. And just never quite looked smooth the way you'd normally want to turn the double play.
Here's Billy Howard. And Billy is 6 for 15 with 5 singles and a double. So the top half of this Dragons lineup is mashed this year. Mentioned Montoya's 3 for 4 in steal attempts. Good stop back there from Farewell. He's catching today for Mann. And it's 1-0.
Ty Farrell so far. 1 for 6 so far throwing out base runners.
Hit back out to short again. Harrington, long throw to first, and a nice dig by Peta. Scoreless top of the first for Mann. And the Snowbirds will come up and hit when we return. Sebastian Schreiber to the mound for the Dragons here in the bottom half of the first. No score. Schreiber on the season, 7 1/3, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 9 walks, 10 strikeouts. And as a team, the Dragons have a 4.70 ERA. They'll face off against the Snowbirds offense today that's hitting 283, solid across the board, 423 on base, 410 slug for an 833 OPS. So it'll be Bowie stepping in, Dylan Bowie, who's 7 for 16 on the season. He scored 9 runs already. He's been hit by 3 pitches and he's walked once. On base percentage, .550. First pitch from the lefty, Schreiber, up and in, ball 1.
Something to also keep in mind, the Snowbirds are 3rd in the entire league in total walks drawn with 38 in 8 games. I wonder how patient they'll be with their approach at the plate will end up being against the starter Schreiber.
A swing and a miss, fastball up and away. Bowie, Hatcher, farewell here in the home half of the first for the Snowbirds. And their team leaders, Minjai Yo is 4 for 12 with a double and a triple. He leads the team in OPS. All over 1,000. 1-1 in there. Strike 2.
This is a good sign right here. I know it's just one batter for Sebastian Schreiber. We've seen him locate a good fastball on the outer part of the plate. That was a nice breaking ball to clip the inside corner.
So 1-2 now on Bowie, who's been an on-base machine, reaching more than he's been out so far this year. 1-2, way inside. Almost got hit again.
I like that miss right there, though. It's good. It's a good miss along the inside part of the plate. It keeps the hitter honest. It's always a little bit of a battle going on with the pitcher and the hitter when they go to the inside part of the plate. Gotta let them know who the plate belongs to.
The 2-2 from Schreiber. Hit out to right. That'll fall in for a knock, and it's going to roll down there. Michelle finally gets to it down the line and into second with a leadoff double. Bowie. Good start for the Snowbirds.
I love this kind of base running. Dylan Bowie, he exited the batter's box. He had 2 on his mind from the get-go. No hesitation, rounding first, and in there with a leadoff double. I like it, Nash.
The Dragons come in today. That 4.70 ERA is the 4th lowest in the PSCL. And Bowie's aboard with a double to lead off the bottom half of the first. That'll bring up Hatcher, the left fielder today. Schreiber immediately to the stretch. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. Feels like he's going to need that pitch working today, Evan.
Absolutely. I'd love to see if he's able to feature a changeup too, especially facing what could be a very right-handed, heavy lineup here with the Snowbirds.
Jackson Hatcher's 3 for 17 on the season with a double, 4 runs driven in. Snowbirds team's been hit 14 times. Check on the runner, nobody there.
Somehow they don't lead the league in that category. That would be the Lumberjacks, one ahead of 15.
Wow. 31 for 35 in steals. This is a very efficient Snowbirds offense. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike. So maybe not the extra base hit pop as much, Evan, but they get on, they get over, and they do score runs. 54 runs in 8 games.
We'll see if the Snowbirds are able to manufacture a run here, getting that leadoff man over at second base. Get him over, get him in.
Time called by Hatcher at the plate. And he's down in the count 0-2.
A lot of room on that right side with the second baseman Hilbert keeping the runner close. And a huge lead out there from Bowie.
Schreiber, another check.
That's effective base running there from Dylan Bowie. Making Schreiber think about him, that's less energy he's able to put into the hitter and a better chance for his teammate to deliver a hit.
Schreiber's last start against the Lumberjacks, a very left-handed lineup. They still got to him. That offense is terrific.
I think everybody in that lineup hits for the Lumberjacks.
That's it out to second. Hilbert plays it on a couple hops, throws on to first, and that's the first out. Runner will move over, so now Bowie 90 feet away with 1 down.
That's a very productive out from Jackson Hatcher. You didn't try to do too much with it. You got to pitch along the outer half, especially down 0-2, just tried to put it in play. And in this case, a weak ground ball to second base does a job.
That sets up for farewell. With the ground ball to the right side, or a Fly ball deep enough in the outfield should score the first run of this game for the Snowbirds. Snowbirds in a what looks like a dark blue. First pitch from Schreiber is low. And the Green Dragons, of course, in their staple green.
Could you imagine how confusing it'd be if the Green Dragons did not wear green, Nash?
Well, we have about 4 or 5 green teams, and I think we've done a pretty nice job separating them. This isn't basketball or football.
That does help.
There is a team in the field and a team at the plate, so I still give us credit, though.
Darn right.
Pitch is low. It's 2-0 on Farewell.
Well, now if you're Farewell, you need to get a good swing of the pitch. Look fastball, see it coming, and try to make solid contact.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Hit out to left, twirling. It's going to land foul. No chance over there for Pruitt. That one's down by the Grizzly bullpen, or the Green Dragons bullpen, excuse me. There you go. Look at the green. I'm mixing up the greens already.
Oh my, Nash.
The Green Dragons bullpen.
That's going to be a long day for you, my friend.
2-1 count on Farewell with 1 down, and Bowie at third. Leadoff double down the right field line.
You know, the analytics guys will hate hearing me say this, but Farewell needs to try and get on top of the ball here. Middle infield's conceding a run on the grounder, so that's the adjustment he needs to make.
That pitch is outside. It's 3-1. So Farewell has put himself in a favorable count here, 3-1 with 1 out, and Bowie leading off third. Walking lead, 3-1. Nearly hits some, ball 4. That'll put runners at the corners. So Farewell walks, and that'll bring up Pita. In the same situation, but try to keep this ball off the ground. You don't want to hit into a double play. We'll see if Ty Farewell takes off. He has not attempted a stolen base this year, but first and third, prime opportunity here. It's a good team on the bases. Pitch is outside to Pita. Joshua Pita, 3 for 10, 2 doubles, 3 runs driven in. He's walked twice, and he's been hit by 3 pitches. Feels like everybody on this team's been hit by 3 pitches.
Now, good thing about being warm out, Nash, it doesn't sting quite as bad.
Here's the 1-0, and yes, Farewell will go. The throw down, cut off at second by Hilbert. No chance at the tag, and now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out.
That was a good job by Dylan Bowie over at third, reading that play, seeing that the second baseman, Hilbert, was coming to get that ball, and not running into an out.
So it's a stolen base for Farewell, and Pita now base hit. Likely scores 2. And did he go? Yes. Home plate umpire says yes.
And you know, that happens sometimes, Nash, but especially on a 2-0 count, you want to try and get a little bit of a better swing than that. Still another opportunity with it being a 2-1 count. Try and look for something in the strike zone and get an aggressive swing at it.
Pita calls time. Schreiber. He's forced that a few times.
Bit of an interesting alignment. Connor Hilbert, the second baseman, now just a couple steps back from the grass, so it looks like he's going to play in. The shortstop Braden Schiffner is going to play back.
Pita takes in the dirt. It gets away, and the first run of the game is going to score. So Bowie comes around to score after the leadoff double, and it's 1-0 Snowbirds on the play. Farewell moves up to third. Two count now on Pita with Farewell down at third, and it's 1-0 Snowbirds. Still 1 out. Swing and a miss. He got him. That looked like a changeup, Evan. Good spot.
It was a good job by Schreiber coming back with a really nice changeup on the outer half. We talked about initially command has been a bit of a problem with now 10 walks so far in the season, wild pitch, conceding a run. But still, one pitch from getting out of this jam and allowing one run isn't the biggest deal in the world.
I'm not out of it yet, and he's got to get Caden Stillwell here, who's 6 for 18 with 4 singles and 2 doubles, and that's ripped to second base, picked up on a backhand by Hilbert. He throws on to first for out number 3. Snowbirds score 1 on the wild pitch, and it's 1-0 after 1. You're listening to PSCL Baseball. Dragons back to the plate here in the top half of the second. They trail it 1-0 after a leadoff double from Dylan Bowie comes around to score on a wild pitch. It'll be Devin Bonine coming up here for the Dragons. And he's 5 for 14 on the year. So this is an offense that can get it back quickly. Working against Ethan Mann. Hilbert singled in the first. It's cut down on a fielder's choice. That pitch is inside, 1-0.
And if you're Ethan Mann, especially this first batter, this could be a big out for him. Snowbirds come into today second in the league in total stolen base. They made up a lot of ground on the A's, who were way ahead for a while. Now that depth is down to 2.
One hop to Sarmiento at third. Makes the throw for out number 1.
Can't ask for anything more than that if you're Ethan Mann. One quick out. Keep a good base stealer off of first. Try and record a shutdown inning.
That's the 4th ground ball out in 4 outs for Ethan Mann. Keeping the ball on the ground here. 1 to second, 1 to short, 1 to third, and a fielder's choice. Here's Orozco. AJ, 3 for 8 on the season. Not a large sample for him. He's been hit by 2 pitches. He's walked twice. 3 runs driven in. So it's 12 plate appearances, but 583 on base. Big swing and a miss there. And he's slugging 750, excuse me.
I tell you, good things happen for that slugging percentage when you're able to get extra base hits and a lot of singles.
So 1-1 on Orozco for Mann. That drops in low. 2-1. Green Dragons offense 22 for 30 in stolen bases. Pitches down and away, 3-1.
I think Mann just might have rushed his delivery the last couple of pitches. That's often the case when you miss down and away to the right-handed batter. Try and slow things down, take a deep breath, make Orozco earn his way on base.
The 3-1 inside. It's a 1-out walk. Now the league, the PSCL, is stealing bases at a 79% success rate this season.
You're saying the entire league?
Entire league is at 79%. So about 8 out of every 10 steals are successful.
So now, is that a compliment to all the base stealers, or are you denigrating the catchers here?
No, it might be a little bit of both, but it goes to show it's a huge factor in the PSCL.
Frankly, I love seeing all the aggression on the bases. It's warm out. Everybody's loose.
That's hit
Get the
hard
wheels
to
going.
right, and that's going to get down for a hit. Rounding second, heading for third. No, Orozco holds up. And almost gets picked off there at second. He thought about third. Got about a fourth of the way there, but it's first and second with one out. And a rally stirring for the Green Dragons here in the second.
And, just a moment after talking about aggression, A.J. Killian jumped right on the first pitch and hit an absolute laser out to right center field. So it makes me happy. Second hit of the day for the Green Dragons as a team.
Killian now 3 for 15 on the season. And that'll bring up Michelle with runners at first and second. First pitch, inside, called a strike. Brendan Michelle, 4 for 12. All singles, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Dragons tied 2-2 in a dramatic game with the Colonials yesterday. That pitch is inside 1-1.
Nash, a credit to Ethan Mann. There's nothing more annoying as a hitter when you get comfortable with a certain release point, and then he goes in and drops down to a submarine delivery. It's a good idea to try and change the eye level.
Here's the 1-1. Foul tipped, 1-2. There were 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The game was tied 2-2. The Dragons got the winning run around third, heading home, thrown out at the plate for out number 3.
Now, that's quite a way to end the ball game, Nash, but at least for fans, the players, broadcasters, can't ask for anything more exciting than that.
It was fun.
I'm jealous. I didn't get to see it.
It was either going to be a walk-off hit or a throw at the plate, and it was a throw out at the plate. It was a great throw from center field.
So that game ended in a tie?
Tie, 2-2.
That's a shame.
Here's the 1-2. Orozco takes off for third. Here's the throw down. Looks good. They got him. Strike him out. Throw him out. And that's one way to end the inning. Snowbirds still lead it 1-0. We'll head to the bottom of the second when we return. Min Jae Yo to the plate. He'll lead off the bottom of the second for the Snowbirds, who made a nice play in the field. Strike him out, throw him out, double play to finish off the threat in the top of the second. And they lead it 1-0 after Dylan Bowie led off the game, or led off the bottom of the first with a double, came around to score on a wild pitch.
I think Ty Farewell, you never know. Sometimes they say that our voices can travel a little bit behind home plate in the echo chamber. Might have heard me try to test the catch. He's made an excellent throw to gun his man down at third.
First pitch from Schreiber in there for a strike on Yo, who's 4 for 12 this year, with 2 singles, a double, and a triple. He leads the team with a 1100 OPS. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1.
It's also the second man that Farewell has caught stealing so far this season. So base runners are now 4 for 6 against him. Pretty good for a catcher.
It's hit high but out of play. We've seen some of the best hitters in lineups, batting 6th, 7th, and 8th. I think these managers are trying to stretch out their lineups a bit.
And part of it also might be you get comfortable in a certain part of the batting order, so then once you get hot, sometimes, every play is different of course, but sometimes may not be as comfortable going into a different spot.
1-2 is, I think it hit him.
That's
Got a piece of Min-Jae Yo, and he's aboard. So Yo hit by his first pitch of the season, which is hard to believe. The Snowbirds have been hit 14 times. Now 15.
I think they had that on their minds coming into today with the Lumberjacks ahead of them by 1, so it doesn't hurt to try and he didn't stick his foot out there, but it doesn't hurt to maybe stick your foot out there, try and recapture the lead in that category.
Min-Hyuk Kim, the extra hitter today, will bat with a runner aboard and nobody out in the bottom of the second. He steps out. Kim, 2 for 13 this year. 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, so he's getting on base at a 400 clip, but hitting just 154. Check on the runner, he's back. Yo is 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts on the season. See if he takes off here. Figure he may, Evan.
They do like to run this Snowbirds team.
A little bit tougher with the lefty. That's a foul tip at the plate. It's 0-1. Schreiber facing the runner. It is Killian behind the dish.
A good-looking lead over at first. Aggressive-looking lead.
Check on the runner. He's
back
back
a little
in.
Flat-footed.
Killian has thrown out 4 runners
Wonder if that leads the league.
on 4 stolen base attempts. It's tied for second, but runners are 0 for 4 on A.J. Killian.
Interesting matchup then. A team likes to run, and the catcher throws a lot of runners out.
Pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-2. The league leader is Tyler Swan. Been run on 8 times. He's thrown out 5.
So what you're saying is a Snowbirds play needs to attempt a stolen base. Well, that's one way to try to do it.
There he goes. They've got him picked, and he's thrown out. Nice job by Schreiber. And they pick off Yo for the first out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, for those keeping score at home, that'll go 1-3-6 on the play. Just one of those things. You're going on first moving against the lefty. Sometimes it is a guessing game. That time just happened to guess wrong. And give Sebastian Schreiber credit, keeping the runner close, and this time getting a relatively easy out.
Pitch is way high on Kim. And it's 1-2.
That changes the whole complexion of this inning, especially with nobody on base now.
Breaking ball is high. It's 2-2. On Kim, there's 1 out here. Snowbirds do lead it 1-0. Nice play by Schreiber to cut off the run, and that is in there. No, yes, strike 3. Delayed call.
It never hurts to take an extra second to really analyze the strike.
Called strike 3 on Kim. It's the second strikeout for Schreiber, and there's 2 down here in the second for Sarmiento.
I will say, though, as a catcher, that time A.J. Killian caught that with his fingers facing straight up towards the sky. Wish I could actually show everybody back home. We'll do what we can. On the outside part of the plate, if you're able to flip your glove over to the side, it's much more appealing to the umpire, and you'll get way more strike calls. That time, they're able to get the strike 3 on the outer half.
Sarmiento swings and misses. He's 4 for 14 on the season with a double and a home run. Pitch is in there for a strike. 0-2. 3 home runs on this Snowbirds roster this season. Barksdale, Farwell, and Sarmiento.
Well, Nash, I'm jealous. I haven't seen any of them. I'm ready for one.
Pitch is down and away, 1-2. Good try from Schreiber. I think I've seen 2 in the league so far. And maybe the power production picking up a bit. We have 19 home runs this season in the league. That's up and away, 2-2.
We'll say
19 homers, you've seen none.
It's been 19 homers?
19 homers. Well, we do play on the turf field, half the games, basically.
That ball really flies on that turf field. And the dimensions aren't quite as big. The ball does travel well in Palm Springs Stadium during the daytime.
2-2 with 2 outs is in there for strike 3. Back-to-back called third strikes. The third strikeout for Schreiber on the day. Still 1-0 Snowbirds. We'll head to the third. You're listening to PSCL Baseball. Ethan Mann back out for his third inning of work. Couple of scoreless frames. He's given up 2 hits and stranded them. He walked Orozco. Orozco was caught stealing third base. That helped a ton. Farwell gunned him. And now it'll be Schiffner, Pruitt, and Howard due up. 9-10-1 here in the top half of the third.
You know, Nash, I got to give the defense a lot of credit here after possibly subtly taking a jab at not being able to throw any base stealers. He had a nice pickoff play and a caught stealing. I like it.
First pitch on Schiffner inside, 1-0. Is chopped at the plate, 1-1. Talking about the Lumberjacks, they're hitting .392 as a team, getting on base in more than half of their plate appearances this year.
Seems like
as
half
a team.
Of their starting position players also play for the Power and put up respectable numbers even at that level.
Only team in the league with more walks than strikeouts as an offense.
That's impressive.
36 walks, 32 strikeouts.
You know, now it's just not fun fouling a ball off your foot. I think that's what happened with Braden Schiffner right there. You ever have that happen?
Not much. I was too busy hitting it over the fence. Here's the 1-1.
You know, he's a beast, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen.
Hit out to third, but foul. 1-2. Never hit a homer in my life.
Neither have I. I've stolen home before, though. Some of my friends who don't know the game quite as well don't want to give me credit. Because it was a suicide squeeze, so I took off. The pitch went to the backstop, and I scored. So I was running on the pitch. That's a steal of home. I'll confirm my analytics guy.
Questionable.
He confirmed it. That's a steal of home.
Here's the 1-2 on Schiffner. Hit high to center. Barksdale comes in. Makes a cap high catch for out number 1.
Dash, why is that not a steal of home?
It is. And I feel like that's one of the only ways it can happen. You know? You don't see it much anymore because it's so difficult to do.
Yeah, sometimes you might see like first and third, the man on first takes off, and then runner on third scores on the
throw. I don't know if I'd count that.
I think technically it does count.
A breaking ball like high, and you get a great jump from third, you can score.
Yeah, maybe you get like a pitcher who's going in the windup with a man on third, and you catch him sleeping.
Force the balk. Here's Pruitt, left fielder today, batting 10th. 1-0, now 2-0. So the Snowbirds are up 1-0 on a wild pitch. And Ethan Mann has worked around some trouble. Defense has been strong behind him. Bunch of ground balls.
What a peaceful morning, Nash. I can even hear the birds chirping.
Pitch misses. It's 3-0.
This is our first 3-0 count on either side, Nash, and I gotta say, hits have been a little bit tough to come by. I would take your 3-0, and I usually like green lights.
Yeah, Pruitt's 1 for 10 on the season with no walks.
I'm putting the automatic take on.
Drops the arm slot in there for a strike.
I think he chose a good pitch to take there. I would not enjoy seeing that change of eye level if I'm a hitter.
3-1 looked like a sinker. And the pitch from Mann, hit out to right field. It's a base hit. Second hit of the season for Ryan Pruitt, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. Let that ball really travel. It was a little towards the inner part of the plate, maybe a little off towards the hands. But when you keep your bat in the strike zone for such a long time, like Pruitt did right there, you can still barrel a ball up nicely.
Tommy Howard, lineup flips over. He's 2 for 7. Howard, the leadoff man today. Pruitt hasn't been on very much, so no steal attempts.
Have you seen a successful hit and run yet this season, Nash?
I can't think of one. I think last inning when Orozco was thrown out at third and Killian took off as Michelle struck out swinging, I think that was a hit and run call.
It might have been.
It could have been. And it was a strike him out, throw him out. Get the runners moving. That's the risk you take.
I think it's such a cool thing to see the hit and run.
Runner does go. It's a dribbler to third. Going to be a tough play. And no play. Here's the throwback to second. And he's back in safely. So a dribbled single for Howard. And now first and second with 1 out for Connor Hilbert.
Well, it'll be a line drive in the books either way for Tommy Howard. And I think it was a good decision by Sarmiento over at third to hold on to that ball. I don't think he had a chance to throw out Tommy Howard. And not throwing that ball allowed him to keep Pruitt over at second base.
So a dribble single for Tommy Howard.
What happened over here?
Tommy's coming back into the
Wonder if he hurt himself.
dugout.
Because yeah, that's the Snowbirds dugout. Looks like. Wonder if he's going to see the athletic train. Maybe pulled up a little bit.
So May Hirado will come in and run for Tommy Howard. Hope he's okay.
So I guess for now we can assume this will be a straight up substitution instead of a special pinch runner.
Yeah, we'll see where May Hirado goes in the field. Howard's he's the extra hitter today. So I don't know if May Hirado will get that next at bat. 1 out, Connor Hilbert, who singled in the first and was cut down on a fielder's choice, takes ball 1. Hilbert, terrific year so far. 6 for 15. Now 3 singles, 3 doubles. Hits that one high into the air, and it's in the infield. Harrington makes the catch, and infield fly rule is called. That's a big out, number 2. So infield fly rule for the second out. Hilbert pops up, and here's Montoya, who hit into that fielder's choice in the first. Gabriel Montoya, 5 for 13 on the season now, and a big run scoring spot here in the top of the third. The Dragons have had base runners, but they've run into some outs, and Ethan Mann has gotten some big outs as well. Easy play at third for Sarmiento. He touches the bag on a hard hit ground ball. And once again, the Snowbirds escape. A scoreless third for Ethan Mann. The Birds still holding on to a 1-0 lead. They'll come up and hit when we return. Harrington, Barksdale, and Bowie. 9-10-1 due up here for the Birds. Schreiber has 3 strikeouts. Couple looking to finish off the second inning. And it's 1-0 Snowbirds here in the bottom of the third.
You know, Nash, looks like one of our analytics guys is going to go help the Snowbirds manager coach third base. We had a nice conversation out there. I wonder what they're talking about.
First pitch is up and away on Harrington.
Maybe like spin rate or swing speed, something like that. Something analytical.
William Harrington's 3 for 10 with 2 singles and a double. 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1.
You know, seeing both those guys out there, Nash, it makes me think of A League of Their Own, where you have, I think it's Dolly who's giving the signs, and Tom Hanks' character is also trying to give signs, and it's just very confusing.
Check swing did not go. It's 2-1.
Yeah, he's made himself comfortable down there.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
He's still there. He's not going anywhere.
Here's the 2-1 on Harrington. Up and away, 3-1.
I think the manager's going to have to shoo him off if he does for the man to leave at some point.
3-1 on Harrington, who's playing shortstop today for the Birds. Breaking ball. Good one. In there for a strike, 3-2. So the Snowbirds scored that run on a wild pitch. It's the only run of the game so far. 4 hits for the Dragons. They've stranded multiple runners on base. Here's the 3-2. Thought about it, did not go. It's a leadoff walk for Harrington.
I give Schreiber credit. He went with the breaking ball for a strike, 3-1, and went back to a 3-2, and he missed in the dirt. Sometimes, though, when you fall too much in love with your off-speed pitches, you can fall behind in the count and have trouble putting hitters away.
Harrington's aboard. 3rd straight inning, the leadoff man has reached for the Snowbirds. So far, just 1 run to show for it as Barksdale steps in. Omari Barksdale. He's batting in the 10 hole today. He's 2 for 14. With 3 walks, he's been hit by a pitch. Also has a double on his ledger. Check on the runner,
wow.
And that's thrown way away. Harrington might have a chance at third. He's going to head there. Here's the throw. Just missed the tag. So close.
Great call by the umpire in the field, too.
He missed the
right
tag. And Harrington makes it all the way up to third. We've talked about that, Evan. It's almost not worth checking the runner because that ball just keeps flying up the first base line.
A lot of pitchers have had so much trouble throwing over the first base. Not even necessarily making plays to record outs, but just trying to check on the runners. And it's a good idea sometimes just stepping off and throwing in one motion, but that throw was not even close to the first baseman, Billy Howard. And we said there's so much room down the lines where a lot of times that ball goes towards the bullpen. You can go from first to third.
It's almost like Oakland Coliseum-esque room in foul territory. 2-0. Pitch is down and into Barksdale.
There's so much room in the Oakland Coliseum.
That's not quite like that, but that ball does keep rolling and rolling. 3-0. Schreiber falls behind the 10-hole hitter. He's already walked 3 today. And he's got Harrington down at third after the throwing error on the check.
He's also hit a batter, so that's 4 men that Schreiber has put on base.
Infield is in. Here's the 3-0. Foul back.
I like that 3-0 green light.
Yep, he just missed it.
Barksdale had a good idea that if he got a strike, it was going to be a really good pitch to hit. And he got one there, and a nice swing, just fouled it back. Our analytic guy is still down there talking to the coach at third. I wonder if he's giving advice to the base runner, too.
Got a 3-0 fastball, fouled it back.
They're pointing somewhere.
3-1 is down and in, ball 4. So runners at the corners now, and that's the 4th walk drawn by the Snowbirds. That'll flip the lineup over for Bowie.
And there's no action in the Green Dragons bullpen, so this is Schreiber's inning at the moment.
Looks like there may be a mound visit here, at least between Killian, Hilbert, and Schreiber.
So the manager's coming out too.
Yep, here comes the manager, and the whole infield's going to come chat here. The Snowbirds have runners at the corners. with nobody out. Lineup flipping over for Bowie, who doubled in the first, came around to score the only run of the game. It's 1-0 Snowbirds.
This is a big jam for Schreiber and the Green Dragons to try to escape from. You need to try and get out of this inning allowing only 1 run. You can still try and manage a 2-run lead. If you let it get to a 3-4 run deficit, that makes things a whole lot tougher.
And the Dragons have had base runners, just been running into outs, and strong plays by the Snowbirds defensively. Schreiber, the most he's gone this year is 3 1/3. That was his last outing against the Lumberjacks. He went just 1 against the Grizzly, faced 5 hitters, gave up a hit, a couple of strikeouts, and a walk. And now some trouble in the third. Walks now up to 12. Up to 13 for Schreiber.
That makes things really tough. And he has good stuff, just it's not even necessarily getting ahead of the hitters, it's putting them away that's so far today that's been more difficult.
Tough matchup here with Bowie. Hit a double down the right field line in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Schreiber, foul back.
That was a good swing right there from Dylan Bowie. Got a fastball just a little bit late on it.
Dylan Bowie on the season now is 8 for 17, Evan. Came into today with an OPS at 987, definitely over 1,000 now. And he came in hitting nearly 440.
You know, he has an 8 for 17 kind of swing, to say the least.
Here's the 0-1. Up and away, good take, 1-1.
Yeah, he looked comfortable taking that pitch, too. Bowie's seeing the ball really, really nicely, especially from the lefty Schreiber.
Yeah, and Schreiber has gotten a couple ground balls today, in need of one here. Feels like the best case scenario against Bowie, but he struck out 5 times. That's in the dirt, 2-1. So ideally you go strikeout double play, but it's a tall task against a guy who's been outstanding, albeit in his 8th game now.
So far, only 1 hit recorded by the Snowbirds, coming from from Bowie to lead off the ball game.
Here's the 2-1. Check on the runner. He's back in. That's Barksdale over at first. Omari is 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts.
Might have caught Barksdale leaning just a little. That's a really aggressive lead. I'd be a little surprised to see them run right here, especially with the red-hot Bowie at the plate.
Yeah, the Birds had runners at the corners in the first. Bowie was at third, and Farwell did steal second base. Still nobody out. We also want to steal and put 2 runners in scoring position for Bowie.
That'd be nice too. But when you get a lead that aggressive, it forces the pitcher to really think about you over at first base. And that takes away mental energy to put on the hitter.
Here's the 2-1. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Picked up.
They got him.
And oh no, thrown away to the backstop. They had Harrington picked between third and home. And Hilbert threw it to the backstop. So Harrington scores. Barksdale moves up to third, and it's 2-0 Snowbirds.
Yeah, and that was a really well executed play with the second baseman coming to cut off the throw. Absolutely had Harrington in a rundown. It's just one of those things where maybe Hilbert just tried to guide that ball a little too much. Sometimes instead of firing it right in there, throwing it hard like you normally would, and you're trying to aim it, that's where wild throws can sometimes happen.
That was a strong play. That's ball 4 to Bowie, so runners are at the corners again. And still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Snowbirds looking for more. It was a strong play.
It was.
The throw was cut off by Hilbert, and he had a play at the plate to cut down the runner. That was the goal. But errors biting the Green Dragons a bit here.
Yeah, Snowbirds take advantage of a couple errors and all the walks so far.
Runners at the corners now for Hatcher. Swings and misses. He grounded out to second, his first plate appearance on the season now. 3 for 18.
Curious what the official ruling would be on that last play and the attempt to try and get the runner at home. Would that be a steal of home for Harrington, or would that be an error all the way? Just got word that is an error all the way.
Yeah, I don't think, because the throw went to second base, he would have scored on the throw anyway, which is not a steal. So I don't believe that would be the ruling.
And of course, error on the throw allowed Barksdale to go from second to third.
1-1 on Hatcher.
So now that was the third stolen base of the season for Barksdale, going from first to second.
Here's the 1-1. Bowie goes for second. Throw is cut off at short this time, and he's in safely. So a bluff cut from Hilbert lets the ball go through. I like the plays out here from the Dragons, holding runners. They just haven't executed.
Yeah, that's all coming from the manager on the bench with these designed first and third stolen base attempt plays. They had me fooled. I thought they were going to cut it off again. Almost had Bowie at second base, letting the ball go all the way through.
He went around. So 2-2 now on Hatcher. With 2 men in scoring position, still nobody out. 1 run home in this frame for the Snowbirds. The
now,
infield in.
Be a tremendous time for Schreiber to pick up a strikeout.
And Hatcher is a strikeout candidate. He struck out 7 times this year in 22 plate appearances. Killian's going to come out and talk to him.
I think our analytic guy went back to talking to the coach. Looked like he was following the coach to help give the hitter some encouragement. Now he's going back to the third base coaching box with the coach.
Here's the 2-2. High, 3-2. First base is open with Farwell on deck. And Ty Farwell is not a guy you necessarily want to see with the bases loaded and nobody out. Infield still in, 3-2.
Oh.
Way inside, gets away. Here comes the run home. Barksdale's going to score. It's 3-0 Snowbirds. On the wild pitch, Hatcher gets down to first, and Bowie advances to third on the error.
Yeah, it's turned into a mess in the field for the Dragons. Still only 1 hit for the Snowbirds, but a few wild pitches, a couple errors, some throwaways, a hit batter, and a little bit of aggressive base running from the Snowbirds. They haven't had to do much of the plate.
So here's Farwell, who walked and stole in the first. Runners back at the corner, still nobody out. It's 3-0 Snowbirds. In the bottom of the third, a long inning. That gets away from the catcher, which will allow Hatcher to move down to second. So Killian can't corral that pitch from Schreiber. Now second and third with nobody out.
And that's the second wild pitch of the inning. Third wild pitch from Schreiber.
Four walks in the inning.
4 consecutive walks to start the inning. Still nobody out.
Nobody out. And on the day, 6 walks. And 6 outs for Schreiber. First pitch, inside. Excuse me, that's 2-0. Killian thought they had that one.
Yeah, it was close. I think that ball looped the plate, though.
And when you're kind of all over the zone, it's hard to get those calls, Evan.
Absolutely. You won't get the benefit of the doubt, especially if you're making the catcher move all over the place and you're missing your spot.
The 2-0 on Farwell, way down and away. It's 3-0.
Well, that's got to be an automatic take for Ty Farwell. Last thing you want to do is hand the Green Dragons an out, especially with command being an issue. Wouldn't it be the worst to even take 2 strikes?
3-0 with Logan Cook warming down there in the Dragons bullpen. He pitched yesterday.